We now return to Let's Play Zeus. High unemployment is a problem, but there is no unrest in the city. And more people are coming. Okay, I've gone ahead and done a little bit of a blocking out of where I'm going to put our new big section of town. Go ahead and put that down there. And this is going to go something like so. Put a little block there. And now, let me see. So if I do like a 1, 2, 1, 2, well, see, it's gonna have to be. How did I think about this? 2, 3, 3. So if I did 2 and like an inner road there, the road would still be out here. I think that'll be okay. I think this will do what I want to do here. So it needs to be 3 away from the road. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So that still allows me to do what? I don't know. Okay. So we will get... I guess we're going to do this one symmetrically. Now, I know I put a big agora down, but that's okay, because what that means for me is that I can then have double structures in here to ensure that this one is in fact getting all of the goods that it requires. So let's begin. Should I just put these in the corners, opposite corners? Is that how I want to lay this out? Sure, let's give that a try. We'll see how well that works out for me. May not work out well at all, but we'll find out. And then, of course, I want to put 2 theaters opposite sides, and I realize now that this may actually have some detrimental effect on the appeal right here, which, of course, we'll just offset by putting beautification behind all these structures, so that's fine. Hopefully the pathing will work out for me. I'm not at all sure that it will, but I guess we'll see. So, what else to do? Obviously we need to do this horrible stuff. May as well put it right next to that as best as possible. And so if that's the case, I'm going to put this here, but why don't we instead put this one over here? And it's okay that it sticks out. I mean, I could beautify the front of that road a little bit. How is the horse ranch going to work out here? You know, putting it right inside the town. I know I've already voiced my concern with doing that because it's not the greatest, but I also don't want it to be too far away from here for them to go get horses. So I guess we'll just kind of tuck something in there and then beautify the hell out of it. So let's take this and come back and do something like this. Maybe pull one behind, pull one away so I can put something along there. Although I feel like I'd want to kind of close off that structure anyhow. You know what, we'll just do it. Okay, so that works out, and we are now going to culture-wise, average theaters, so I mean whatever. I guess I do want to make sure that I'm putting in all of the buildings. So we'll do production buildings inside. I guess we can put them kind of kitty corner like so. Yeah, okay. We'll put in colleges. And we'll mark a little bit of beautification here. Should I just do a line along the backside? You know what, before we do that, let's just finish off all of the culture. So looking at that leaves me some very very strange shapes. It's not going to be even either way, right? Let me look at this real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it should be. So it must just be the perspective that's making that look weird. So let me grab some parks here or something. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, it would be off because it's a 3x building. Well, in that case, maybe I should just put it on opposite ends like so, and then we can put podium maybe off-centered there to there, and we'll do benches on either side, and here's where we can put in our columns. Just stretch some columns from one end to the other of the agora, and then put in some park. And that should leave me a couple places for houses. I don't know, maybe I don't actually want to put houses there. Looking at the appeal, it's probably pretty bad. Maybe I should just actually, before we do that, let's take these back out again. We'll just make them beautification structures instead. I'll just leave that running. So gazebo, and then flower garden. And what little houses we'll have, we'll put out along the edge. Now is that everything? College podium, that, and that, and that. I think it is. So everything else then is going to be house. Tax offices. Let's undo that for a moment. I still need tax offices, and I still need to put in a guard tower. Let's put a tax office there, put in a tax office there. We'll bring safety into it with a guard tower in this corner and in that corner right there. Okay. There, I think that'll work. So now we can do some houses. We'll bring that right up. We'll go ahead and put some park in the back. And we may as well line this up with park in the back here, because nothing else will go there. And we're going to probably need park in the back. Oh, that actually has quite a bit of space. Oh, because it's eating into the... I see. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's fine. That'll actually allow me to have varied structures back here that will kind of help mask a little bit of what's going on. So, how do we want to deal with this? I can put some of that, and then maybe a couple ionic columns. There you go. I realize that this is not so good for the economy. I really could do something else to put down another trireme. Don't think that's entirely necessary at the moment. This still seems to be pretty good, despite the fact that we now have, well, nothing, because these agoras do not have anybody. So we'll do foods down here, so they can actually... You can't put down multiples? I thought you could. I must be thinking of Emperor then. Oh, well, okay. So that's going to create just a very large open space then. Huh. Peculiar. I really thought you could double down on that. But yeah, it's totally an Emperor thing, I guess. Okay. Well, so that's working out thus far. What do they require? Gora just needs food, so she's off to get it. And we're off to the Pythian Games. Okay, so let's speed up to 100, bring that down to 90, so things actually start moving. I mean, at this point, I should really just have a bunch of everything, so not overly worried about that. Perhaps I should even go over here and start looking at what I'm getting. So we could probably just buy 24 straight up altogether now. We do seem to be selling all of the olive oil, all of the oil. Sculpture is still kind of eh. We're not doing a damn thing with this. We could probably start selling wood, because that seems to be a thing that I have a lot of. This is selling all the marble. May as well just bring that down to 24. Definitely not doing enough sculpture. Do I really need any fleece? I wouldn't say so. I mean, we've got some hanging out here still, and this is still full. We could, I mean, depending on how badly this needs to be replaced, which doesn't seem to be very much at all, in fact. So sculpture, you selling wine, that's fine. You selling armor, we are selling armor, we're just not getting the armor up there. But we do need to buy wheat. So we will buy 4 wheat. 4 wheat. Did I... Right, I guess I determined I didn't really need to be doing that. Okay, so in that case, let us look at maybe a gazebo right at the front. Now let's turn that into just flower garden. Flower garden at the entranceway. We'll do park along here. Shall I do column along there? I should probably just do column along there. Put our ionic column along the front. Kind of mask that. Bad appeal? No, fleece. Maybe I should start buying some fleece. But let's do... So what would I put here anyway? This is quite large. I could do... Let me take this out, because I can actually remove that to Boulevard. And then we can come in here with Avenue. This is, after all, the entrance to our city. And we will put in this dreaded horse ranch. This really... I mean, this is where I'm stuck with the... Well, not necessarily. I was going to say that's kind of where I'm stuck with the way this all works out, the mechanics of it. You know, I can't be too far from it, but I do actually have another option. And that other option is to have it way over here. This is actually a 4x, isn't it? Yes, it is. It will not fit along that wall. Smyrna wants sculpture. Well, Smyrna, I got some bad news for you. We do not appear to be collecting enough bronze, for starters. Well, now is this going to be too... I would imagine that's too far away. Yeah, we're just going to have to. I don't have a choice. I really don't. So, the question is, how do I want it to go? Do I want it up against the wall? Do I want it kind of here? I guess we'll have...
fulfill an outstanding request.
You gonna do the sculpture? Hermes shares your burden. Okay, but for whom? Must have been that. Okay. I mean, I'm cool with that. Alright, well, I guess it goes here. I could put it kind of in the back, but then it's not really... Yeah, fine. We'll just do this. Grumble. Do that there. We'll go ahead and bring in a happiness monument so that everyone who wanders in to our fair city will know that we are the happiest people on earth. And we'll just kind of... Actually, just fill the rest of it in with the park. Now, hopefully... There's no supply.
Dude, look at the size of this basket.
And no supply, but it's not saying it's out of range, which is the crucial bit. Appeal of the neighborhood. Alright, well, in a way I figured that was going to happen, but I mean, this does not have to be one of the nicer parts of the neighborhood either, so that's a thing. I know. Let's undo that one. We can offset to there. We will do big old park. Big line of park right there. What does this look like? Bad. Better. Hedge maze. Another garden. I mean, it's either another park or another monument. We'll put a monument over here. How about the scholar monument? The appeal effect of that gate is apparently upsetting people. Big old fish pond. There you go. Okay, that works out. A little bit of a dichotomy in the appeal evolution of the houses, I suppose. So, that is done. The city, therefore, is pretty much complete. Let's go ahead and start beautifying this. At least to the end of that. And maybe we'll have a little bit of a pushback on this for the moment. Put in an entrance. Appeal structure. Yeah. I have so many of these monuments. It is a little bit ridiculous. So let's do, I mean, at this point, let's just do park. Let's put down, yeah, first of all, let's put down park so that I at least fill it in. And then we'll selectively destroy some that I can then put a couple varying buildings inside of. And it kind of looks like I'll just do that all the way around because I can't see myself doing much else with this. Be both an entrance and an exit to the city of sorts. You know, I really just don't even know what else to do with this. This avenue, I guess, can at least finish off that part. And then we will continue the park and do a thing there and a hedge maze beside it and just more park. Sure. Because I really don't want to put any other culture buildings down there. So this is overly nice for really a part of the city that absolutely no one even goes into. But I suppose we did see the athletes go out that way. So that's something there. What is going on now? They need horses. We just need more horses is all. So I could probably then boost my, well, no, because it is right here. So it's just taking its time to get there. Okay, well, let's look at Hermes now, and we will begin the concentration of things here. Well, begin perhaps with fish ponds. Yeah, no. Park. Actually, may as well just go ahead and put avenue on this side as well. What little good that'll do me. Actually, I think there's a reason I didn't want to do that. Just put something there. We'll put Corinthian column along that. I'm not really sure what the idea was for this. I'll just fill in and then remove. Put in hedge maze, This is one that I think that I will probably put a monument right at the entrance of the city. Let's put an athlete monument for tourist purposes so that we now alert people to the fact that this is where we once won the Olympic Games. We'll do something there. I have not been putting in benches. We of course need benches. This is a big city. People need a place they can just sit down for a minute. Like there. And, you know, they need a gazebo right out here so they can sit and look at the horrible, ugly fishing wharf and warehouses. Nah, we'll just fill that in like that. Let's put in a garden park over here. And we will offset that with a hedge maze on this side. And then we'll just sort of fill in random park. There we go. I mean, that's good enough, right? Maybe offset that with an actual flower garden. And that looks good enough. A fine entrance to the city. At least, far less horrible than just walking past all of this. And one thing that is missing from here is another trading post. And the only way I'm going to get that trading post is to take over Troy. Now, Gnosis, Loyal, belongs to me. They need wood. They provide, I guess, more wheat. If I'm lucky, they'll give me wheat in tribute and not onion. Let's go conquering. In fact, I can enlist everybody. Absolutely everybody. I have almost one troop. Perhaps I should wait. Let's wait just a minute. I almost have a full company. They just need one more horse. Which means this guy needs to start producing horses just a little bit faster. Wage rate, we could probably actually lower the wage whilst also lowering the taxes. So for the price of 1,000 drachma, we can also, I mean, it doesn't cut it by much, does it? Well, an excessive amount of people, and I probably could have actually cranked this down even further by not adding the fleece in there. But our consumptions seem to be on point. How are we doing now? Full company time. And now it actually looks like we have more than a company. Whatever. We'll take the city now. Enlist everybody. Full company. Odysseus. We do not need Smyrna. Mythical warrior troops. Well, I don't have Ares. Or Artemis, I guess. Artemis also does it. Can't do anything with the Navy because it's land-based only, so we will have to hope that this is enough. 2 heroes, we definitely ought to be able to handle this, I would think. If not, it's going to be rather embarrassing. Okay, so that part is completed. Let's now actually get in here, and now the thing about putting this here is that it requires high appeal, which means I'm going to have to destroy a lot of trees if I'm going to put a house up here. I don't think I want to do that at the moment. So maybe, I mean, I'm going to have to destroy a lot of trees regardless, I guess, because the theater takes up a considerable amount as well. Yeah, okay. We'll remove that in order to place this down, and we'll just run. I mean, I could actually have it go out a little bit further here. But why don't we try and keep it somewhat in line? So I'm going to need to put, let's say, Corinthian columns along the back, and some park, and probably a bench. And now maybe I can put this here. Cannot. I'll need a gazebo so we can overlook the cliffside. And of course a few things to fill in there. And then we may as well fill this in with avenue. At least right there. Whatever good that'll do. Now is it enough? Now it's enough. Okay. pause for a moment. Let's think about putting this here. And let's take and do... Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and do as I had said last time. We'll put this here. It'll be fine. Block that off. That's all good to go. What else do I require for sure? I'm going to need one of you. And yeah, putting that there is fine, I guess. Going to need an infirmary for sure. This is going to be problematic. Because I cannot actually get it there. I could put it there, but that doesn't really help me unless I want to make some really bad circuitous way there. So I guess we'll put this right here by the Agora, which is not ideal. I think this should work though. I think this should actually come out here on this side. I guess we'll find out here in a minute. Bring in, say, Doric column. And can I actually get a monument? I cannot. Cannot fit something there, which is too bad. I may not actually be able to do everything here. May not be able to get all of the various buildings. Culture. I need a theater. And I suppose then I can put a podium right here. Yeah, but I cannot get it. Well, I could get a gym in there. Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just put a gym there, because otherwise it's going to... Well, I mean, I could put it there too. I'm just trying to think of leaving a little bit of space for some buildings. So I want to do that there. And, I mean, I guess I can put a tax office here. That's taking up one more space. Let's first of all see if this even works. Okay, good. Now, the question being, is everybody going to be touched by this? Okay, now we wandered off this way for the second time. I'm not loving that. That's a problem. That's actually a pretty big problem. It must be because he's surrounded by too much road, I guess? Is that why that's going on? So let's, how about we swap these? Probably should have done this before. So now there should be a binary choice, which hopefully means a 50-50. There you go. Okay, problem solved. I wonder if that means that this is going to have the same problem now. I do have water. Water's not making it here, but this has got its own source, so it doesn't need to worry about that. And that is, it's going high enough anyway. Okay. What about hygiene? No healer. Healer is not making it that far because the spawn point for the healer means that I mean, it wouldn't make it anyway. That's actually pretty shitty. So that means that this house is not going to evolve, which does come with its own problems. So let's do food vendor, fleece vendor. I don't even know if these are close enough. I may have to do a separate granary just specifically for this, which is doable. It could go right back here. It would be passed by an inspector. There's perhaps something to look for. I'm actually kind of surprised and actually very disappointed that that is not, in fact, enough. Philosophers, athletes, actors, competitors are not going to be touched, so that means that this house will not evolve fully That's largely because these guys will always be wandering inward. And it just will not have access to the hygiene, and it will not evolve because of the appeal. Okay. Well, Conquest Monument. And now I need armor. May as well do the whole damn thing. Do armor, we'll do wine, and we will, well, I mean, horse trainer is moot because we will not evolve that high. Have a bench so you can sit down and listen for a while. We'll have a fish pond up here. And we'll just spam big old park. Big old park. I want to go off the rail on that. Maybe we can take and give it a little bit of character. Break up just a bit. Take that out with a flower garden. Okay. So that does that. Again, though, the hygiene is an issue for me. Hygiene would actually make it there, would not make it here. So is it actually in my better interests to, say, put the taxman... Did I even put a tax? I guess I didn't. Alright, well, I mean, I've got 10% people. I really do feel like the quick and easy way to consume some of that is just plunking down towers. Yeah, there is no other way to get that hygiene up here unless I bumped this road out, which would necessitate killing that, because that just doesn't fit anywhere. It definitely would not get to the top. And is this even being visited by a distributor? It's not even going that far. Okay. So this whole idea is actually not working out for me. That's kind of disappointing. I did not think that this would be that long of a road. But yeah, we're not getting anything here, so that whole idea is not working. So, the remedy for that, I suppose, is going back to the idea of swapping these. That would allow me... Oh man, that would be awful, because then it would be right next to the infirmary. But we wouldn't really need it. The infirmary can stay here because it would actually reach the house. Alright. Well, I mean, we already removed all the beautification, so, like, what's the matter, right? And this would actually ensure that things would get to the theater, because everything's going to have to walk on its way up there. It just means that now all of our beautification that we built up in here doesn't work. Now we've got to rebuild. Okay, well, I think we're pretty much filled in. Again, we have this, and did we win? Tribute paid by Troy. Oh, we did. I totally went through and didn't even, and they loved me anyway. Despite the fact that I attacked the city and conquered them, just winning the Nemean games, they're like, well, okay, fine, I guess you're not that bad. Hey, tribute of wheat. In that case, we will now actually begin to accept wheat. Oops. We will hang on to our wheat there. We will no longer be buying it. We don't need to. We should be now producing plenty of horses. And speaking of horses, we don't appear to all have them, but they are buying them.
But I'll come back with prestige and a wreath.
The voice acting in this game is wonderful. So, looks like perhaps we need more growers. We have out-olived ourselves. I can do that. 4%. We've actually brought this down quite a bit. Okay. Yeah, definitely time to end the video here. We can reminisce about this later. Oh my god. Fleece. I'll see you next time.